The appropriate object and label style can be automatically assigned to each point inserted in the drawing using the description key. In this part, we will explore the concept of detection key. As you can see, we are picking up where we left off in the previous part. If you really want to continue working in your drawing, you can. If not, you can open my created saved version desk key. A description key is considered a drawing setting, so we will be able to do them the setting step of the tool space. From here, I'm going to click to expand the point category, and then I will expand this category, which is called the key set. And we can see Civil 3D comes with a sample of description keys from which we can explore to edit the description keys. I will right-click on them and select Edit Keys. The description keys come in the panorama. Sometimes the columns are a little narrow. You can click and drag the column dividers as wide as possible, or narrow whether to the left, and this column point represents the quote, and this is the description of the point. The description key works like if you insert a point in the drawing and its description matches a code in the list, then the point will be shown to the right and. In the case of this coat, we have a coat which represents a tree. If a drop point description matches that code, it will get tree marker style, point number elevation description label style. It will be placed on V node, tree layer, etc. Asmin, I will click on the X to hide the performance of a norma, and make a point. I will do this by opening the menu. I will select the point creation tool, and then in the toolbar, I will create a miscellaneous manual point. I am going to set the position and type TR for my description. There, I will enter the details seen in the key list. As far as the height is concerned, it is arbitrary. I am typing 500 and will press enter. Escape can be seen as debang to exit the command. This point I can select the edit key by right-clicking to bring back the discussion key that got the symbol and label from the descriptive key list, or I can turn on Anorama was the active view. Let's create the catch basin descriptive key. To create a new key, we will right-click on the existing key and select New, click on the new key name to access the text, and call the key CB, and add wonder what is also on the other. Why use this represents a wildcard, and that means anything. So this code will match CB. This will also match CB1, CB2. Anything after the description, it will still match on this key. So a good practice is good rule of thumb to include it. I will press enter, and then for marker style. I do not want to go with the style associated with the group, so I will click to put a check in this box, and then I will click on Settings, and then we will choose a new style. I am going to choose Object Style, and I will click on OK as far as label style. Let's choose something different. I am going to click in Settings, and we will go with the elevation and the description. I will click on OK. Notice that we can also assign layer to our point object. Let's do that. I will put a check in the box, and then I will click in the settings, and then we will choose a layer from these layers, which start with V represent the survey I'm going to choose. And I will click on OK is fantastic. Let's click on X to hide the performance of a norma, and then we will create another point diverse manual. I will set its location on the screen for my details. I will type CB enter, and then for the height, it does not matter. I am just going to type 200 and I will hit enter and then I will escape. And it seems that the description capital is working perfectly. If I hover over it, we can see that the point is sitting on layer V. It has the appropriate marker and my desired label style. You let me pan it down. Earlier I made this catch basin, and it was done. I chose it and went to the palette. Essentially emphasized a marker. Tell me how these points are different. Okay, I select the point, can go to the palette of properties, and see what I did manually with that other point. The automatic description key assigned the marker and label style to me. Let me escape. What if I wanted to see this point like this? Or the point was created before the description key, no problem. I can always select this point or other points, also right-click, and I will select the lane description key in the menu. It will force the selected points to take a second look at the description key list, and if they match. So they will take on those properties, create new details. Key, that is, will edit the keys by turning back Anorama. I will right-click on the existing key, and I will select New. Let's select Details and I will call it FI. Choose a style after entering. We will do the settings by clicking on the check. We will select the iron pin object style. I will click OK for the label style. Let's choose something else. We have the second one for the iron. That is, I will just choose the description. I will click OK for. Let's put a check in the box and then click on the settings. I will pull down and we will go with vNode boundary. For now, I will click OK, exactly right. I am going to close the Details key by dismissing Vista this time. We will create another point. Miscellaneous Manual. We'll select its location on the screen. And then for Details, I will type. For elevation, we will go with 250. And I will press Enter and I will press Escape. When finished is the same as before. This point was created before description key, so it does not have the properties I want. I can right-click this point to match the current description key settings. And I can apply the Details key. As we saw, let me show you another thing we can do. If I go to the tab, I can expand the range of point groups. I can right-click on all the points. It will essentially select each point in the file, and I can select the description keys from here when I do. So every point is compared against the list, and it will be updated if necessary. As you can see, the layout of each point can be controlled only by matching its description with a description key. Imagine that you create a description key list based on the commonly used point code. How quickly can you increase your CAD peers?